Okay, great. And then let me just pull up the agenda real quick. Good afternoon, everybody. Let me share. Okay. Can you see the agenda, everybody? I'm seeing head nods.
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
great. Okay, so let's go ahead. We'll call the meeting to order. It shouldn't be too long of a meeting today. We don't have any new business per se, meaning to vote on proposals. We just have to approve the change memo, end of year change memo process from the registrar's office, and then do our elections, and then look at that subcommittee. That's our basic thing. So, as I said, I already called the meeting to order. Announcement, as you all know, last Friday we got the email campus-wide that Provost Valerie Conley was going to be out on extended leave, and then this week Adam Bradford from the graduate school will be taking over for that. So that is our one big announcement again for that, and we're all made aware of that. And as we did like with Valerie, transition to this too, where yeah, he knows things in that, but it'll be a transitional period, just like we had again with Valerie and that, just getting him caught up to speed. With that being said, number two, Catherine sent this out yesterday for the minutes. You can take a look at, or if you should have been able to take a look at them yesterday. That was our last time that we met, February 23rd. With that being said, though, I just need to get a motion. Yes, is that Buck? Bob, go ahead.
Move to approve the minutes.
Thank you, Bob. My first, can I get a second?
Crystal, second.
Crystal, second. Thank you. Okay, so with that being said, all in favor then of the minutes? Okay. That being said, any opposed? Any abstention? Backtrack a little bit. Catherine, are you abstaining, Janet?
I am, because I wasn't there.
That's fine. You're good with that to abstain. I think I got something in the chat here. I'll abstain because she wasn't present. So two abstain, which is Aaron Berry and again, Janet. Those two are abstaining, but everything else again moves to approve unanimously with those two abstentions again from them being absent. No new report from the executive committee. That's going to move into our unfinished business. With that, Cindy Hill, do you have anything from academic affairs?
So Wesley, I was just going to check in with you all about whether or not you had seen all of the GEM committee changes that happened at the state last year. I think it was like October.
Yep.
Okay, are we good to go with those? I know that the state just sent them out again, and there are things like changing of the name of Math 1143 and 1144 and 1147. I know that a lot of people have seen this and a lot of people weighed in. And I know that we were kind of trying to work through the catalog and make sure that we can get those in this year. And I just wondered if anybody had any particular concerns about those, or if, because it's already been approved by our representatives and all of the state representatives, and voted on at the various state level processes, if we feel comfortable moving forward with all of those.
I could take up a motion for discussion, but I'll just piggyback on what you said. Catherine had emailed us yesterday, and she had alerted parties that was going to particularly affect with those. From what she had said too, everyone was in favor of that, but I will take up just a motion for discussion if anyone has anything. If not, it's going to move forward, like as Cindy said, because it's already been approved.
Well, we would just need to have formal documentation, and technically, even though the state board wants to push that forward, the faculty do need to have a vote in that. So last time we had something like this come up when I was on the committee, we needed a UCC proposals, but those flew through really fast.
Okay, so we need you, okay, and then Randa, I see your hand up. Go ahead.
Sorry, I'll mute. That just was my question was, does each department, like math is a big one because we have name changes. Do we just need to put that in a proposal and get it through?
Yep.
Okay.
So, and with Bob, again, piggyback to that, again, if you have change, it's no different than, like you said, Bob, faculty impact. Again, if it's curriculum or catalog updates, we were talking about this in executive committee yesterday about UCC's purview, that if it has something to update with the catalog, credits, things that are going to impact the awarding of a degree or certificate, then it's going to go through here. And like you just said, just to recap again for Catherine's minutes as well, that it needs to go through a UCC proposal.
So really quick, this
Tiffany?
was decided back in October, correct?
Yes.
And do they want to see it in the catalog for the 2023-2024 year, or can we wait until the 24-25 year?
I think we can wait if you all feel as though we, the expectation is for the 24-25 catalog. I know that many universities, community colleges are moving forward, but if everyone doesn't, if we feel like we need to have the additional documentation, we can do that. We can absolutely wait.
Thank you, Cindy.
I think with all in favor, 24-25 sounds good with that. Just giving time people to review proposals and that, especially since we're getting to the deadline of, again, things to be on the State Board of Education's review for like October, because that'll happen in summer, and like we have to get those. If you are going to be considered for that, it'd be like the first week of April. I know Catherine have been sending out stuff for that. So any more discussion on the GERC or the GERC thing, which goes into that update?
Yeah, this was sort of my update, but I think
Is your update, but then does
somebody
anybody have
else can
for
feel
GERC,
free
yeah.
to.
GERC, do you have anything, Bob? Because I know you attend the executive committee.
Sorry, I'm
No, you're
using
fine.
Zoom phone, so it's kind of hard.
Yeah, you're okay.
So they are collecting the data from their assessment plans, and so they are processing those as we for the next few weeks. And they are going to be sending out emails to the departments that they don't have the right type of assessment plans from.
Got it.
Yep. So that's the bulk of that. And again, all this gen ed stuff that has come from the state board, they're going to try to update and include in their things.
Great. Bass,
Haven't met yet.
got it. Okay,
Yeah, we meet tomorrow.
got it. Okay, so you'll have probably something then for the next time we meet. Information from chair. The only thing I'm going to say is that we're at the point, like I just mentioned previously, that if you want stuff to get on to be approved by the state board for 20 or for the following year, those are due by April. 3-year plans were already due by Dean's Council on that. So it's your job as UCC reps to, again, talk to POs that want to get them in and get them in. Ivory, is the form up and running, or are we still in the process of that?
Yes, it is up and running, and I am catching up on those. I think I've got 9 of them
Okay.
pushed out today.
So we should probably look maybe again, depending on it, we may have a meeting next week. If not, then we will meet after spring break, depending on, again, those getting in there and again, giving time for like a week review beforehand. But just again, we're coming to that deadline. That's my information there, just working with people. And again, from your college as UCC reps, again, if you need to get admins or that involved to send out emails saying, hey, get these in, then do so. If they can send it out to your college, because again, we're coming up to that deadline. And then always after spring break, it's the mad rush to the end of the semester that we're all again looking at. So that's my information. I don't have anything else from Faculty Senate. Does anybody have anything from any other councils? Okay, moving for any other questions or anything before I move forward?
Actually, can I ask a quick question?
Go ahead, Ina.
So we sent, Carmen and I wrote up an email and had Carrie Page from the College of Arts and Letters send it out, right? But I wouldn't know, like, if people don't contact me, right? I don't know who, for example, who has a state board proposal that they have to submit. Like, is there any other way or any other thoughts on that? Like, so I'm basically thinking they know if they have to do it.
If
And
they're a
what-
PO, they have to know to do it, and that would be any faculty member or department chair that would be heading that. So if your people did it, then again, it's waiting on those parties and that. Catherine's good about, again, also reaching out to people if they have something on the 3-year plan and they've seen nothing, she'll reach out. But again, you as the UCC rep, you've already done your job to reach out for that college and that.
Okay, thanks, that's helpful.
Yep, no problem.
Hey, Wesley, just one other thought.
Cindy Hill, yep, go ahead.
Yeah, sorry about this.
Go ahead.
The 3-year plan should be on the UCC page, Ines. So you could see if you know, look on the tab associated with your college, and then you could see all of the things that are over the next few years, the 3-year plan. So not that that's your responsibility, but you do have access to that too.
Brings up another thought. As proposals come in, you can always look at the tracking sheet as well. And if you see something from your college, then again, you know, especially if it's not been filled out, get on that person to, again, fill it out or see if it's going to go through or not.
Thank you, that's helpful.
No, that's good. Okay, with that being said, let's go ahead and look at unfinished business. We don't have any, again, proposals. We don't have any, again, state proposals as of yet. First thing we're going to look at is elections. We've had some time since our last meeting because it's been about a month or been about 2-3 weeks. At this point, I will call, is there any more nominations for officers based on except the ones that are already here? Does anybody else want to run for chair, vice chair, or executive secretary? And the crickets chirp. Okay, with that being said, so we already have put those together. Myself, again, Bob and Ben, I will take each one separately. And going into our bylaws, because I didn't know if I know Carmen before I put people in rooms and that, we don't need to, there's nothing saying it needs to be a secret ballot. So we can vote again with all of us here and that. I'll just take up again for voting members. Again, for this, obviously, like registrar's office, academic affairs, again, his student advising, they're not going to vote. But again, let's look at these positions and we'll start from the top up. So all in favor of myself being chair, with the purview that my college reelects me, which they're already again looking at that because no one wants to run either. So, so all in favor of that, either an aye or raise the hand of me being chair next year.
Aye.
Thanks, Bob. Okay, looks like we're in unanimous. So unanimous favor for myself to be chair for 24-25. Next for Bob to be vice chair. All in favor?
Aye.
And myself as an aye. Okay, again, voting unanimously on that for Bob. And then last but not least, Executive Secretary Ben Bowen.
Aye.
Thanks, Tiffany. That's nice to say. It's not about, we're not going to look at the time constraint. With that being said, for our elections, all of us in favor, is there any opposed or any abstention based on those three? And I just did it at the end versus doing it separately because I didn't think there was going to be any opposed or abstention, to be quite honest. Okay, no opposed, no abstentions. Again, voting unanimously for chair, vice chair, executive secretary, myself, Bob Houghton, and Ben. And we hope to again serve you as well as we did this year. So, and always feel free to reach out to any of us if you have questions about proposals and that. Again, and as Cindy says, you know, for all of us, our willingness, yes, you're welcome. And again, always feel free to reach out to any of us. With that being said, let's look at this subcommittee. So
Wesley,
yes, go ahead.
can I
Cindy.
stop you and say thank you for all that you've done over the past year as well? You've done a tremendous job
Thank you.
serving as chair of this committee, and it's a really important committee for the university and the academic mission. So thank you for all that you've done, and thank you to Bob and Ben as well for your willingness to serve next year.
Thank you. And thank you for allowing us to serve as well. So we try to be your voice for everyone for this, for the faculty, especially when it comes to this. With that being said, let's move on to subcommittees now. So Ben and Bob, you have volunteered for this, for the subcommittee of the catalog for restructuring of that, correct?
Yep.
I know Ben had already said yes. I don't think he is in. Let me see if he's on here. 'Cause I thought he had popped in, but then popped out. I know he was at a conference, but he did tell me and yesterday in executive committee he's willing to serve. This is a big project, and it's going to be some growing pains in that. We talked in executive committee yesterday to share with all of you that this will branch out. So again, kind of going back to what I had said before, part of this committee will look at like what is purview to UCC and catalog, and in regards to credits and the courses and awarding of certificates and degrees. That's one part. Then the other part of this committee will branch out and kind of look at the marketing and admission standpoints, and like academic standards had said before about like their separate website about marketing of different programs, and or having the right to change things within or change things on their pages that do not make impacts to awarding certificates or degrees. So that's what we're looking at, and that's kind of the big thing there. With that being said, because again, the registrar's office, I know Sarah, you were going to be on this as well. This is something that we'll probably look to start meeting in April, and then kind of look out again to meet again during next year and kind of bring stuff to our table. We have Ben, Bob, registrar's office. Is there anybody else that's willing to serve? I wouldn't say a huge time commitment, but it's going to be impactful. Lavona, that dog is precious. I love it. Sorry.
Wesley, I wouldn't mind being on there along with the registrar's office to help consult.
Okay, Tiffany Mitchell. It's got Ben, Bob, Tiffany Mitchell, registrar's office. Any other faculty? I will tell you as chair, I was warned. I was thinking about doing it, but I will have my not enough in purview for next year as being chair. So, so I am not going to again take that on. But I didn't know if anybody else. Randa, you're volunteering?
Is this the one that goes through the summer?
Yes. But even if you're not, so I will say this because we talked, Sarah had mentioned this yesterday. Even if you weren't there for part of that, because again, you're off contract in that, doesn't mean you wouldn't be able to participate and just kind of see again, because it will wind up meeting throughout the year next year.
I can help out.
Okay, Randa. Anybody else? Okay, so I feel we're good with that. At this point, Bob, I'm going to put forth the task for you. If you want to look to set up the first meeting in April at some point to get everybody to meet. Okay,
That's a great idea. I'll take care of that.
Awesome. So expect an email from him about that, and don't ignore it. Again, it's going to be again a big job, and again, if you got other questions or if you feel like you do want to serve and it's something that you're interested in, please feel free to reach out to any of us on executive committee, and they'd be happy to have the help with that. So that takes care of our subcommittee. That's number 2. And again, that goes into our catalog format and that, like looking at program, again, duplication, standardization, and that's really what this stuff is looking at. Let's see here. Yeah, that's our unfinished business. We don't have anything in the parking lot. Can I get a motion to take up new business, which is the change memo? Ajit, that's the first. And can I get a second?
Second.
Lavona and Ines second. And I'm just saying that again because recording for Catherine and that. So again, we're going to take up new business. Let me pull up the change memo, which again is going to go live because that's going live tomorrow. Correct, Sarah? Catalog?
Monday. The catalog
Monday.
is in
Yep.
go up to Monday.
I'll let you take the lead with this part here and that. This is going to go through. We just need to put kind of like our, no different than what we do with state proposals, put our stamp of approval on this. Sarah, is there anything you want to highlight?
No, everything we kind of talked about were the minor corrections. There were
Yep.
a couple of things in proposals where just credit counts were off, and we noticed that when we went back through. And then there were a couple of things that came up which goes to the standard format piece where we have these very long, broad, optional elective lists and how people can add or remove courses from those. So there was a couple additions to that. And then paragraphs. There were some of those edits that they wanted to have that are not curricular based, but are in the paragraphs.
Okay. With that being said, if I don't hear any discussion, can I get a motion to approve this?
Move approval of the registrar's office change memo.
Great, that's Bob. Can I get a second?
Second,
That's Randa and Ina second. All in favor? And I, or raise your hand. Any opposed? And any abstention? With that being said, change memo 2324 again is voted and approved unanimously. Thank you all. Going back to the our agenda. This interdisciplinary future business academic standards and that really the academic standards with consistency and the interdisciplinary with the catalog discussion and that subcommittee, that's going to help iron out some of these things and kind of look at, again, making sure that we have what, like Sarah and we all said about standardization, because as you know, the catalog is not friendly and we're trying to make that a friendlier place. Okay. With that being said, does anybody else have anything? Or to go to the order? Motion then to adjourn. Can I get a motion?
Motion to adjourn.
Janet first. Can I get a second?
Second.
Bob second. You guys all take care. Work with your, again, originators, and hope to see you next week. Meeting adjourned.